Hello, hello! My name is Sharp Eyes,
And I am Crucifix.
and you are listening to the sweet, sweet tones of
WeCast.
where you play.
And WeCast.
That's right, I mean, who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? I would have. Or actually, you would have. It was your idea.
Absolutely, I mean, I just love casting these games, because you really never know what's going to happen.
You don't, especially when someone has as creative a name as Chris.
And the viewers actually do not see this.
Well,
Game
I
paused.
do, so suck it, viewers.
That's
Just
actually
kidding.
not a very nice thing to say to our loyal
No,
viewers.
I love you, viewers. You literally rock my boat. So, anyways, Sharp Eyes, have you had a good day so far?
Yeah, I mean, I've
That's good.
drank
You-
some water,
Nice.
had a few beers.
There you go. And you've casted a few games. Can life get better? I submit that it cannot.
Absolutely. I mean, the only thing better than this would be to win the lottery.
That's true. It's up like I don't know if it's the California or the Arizona lottery, but it's up to like $600 million right now.
And
Pretty crazy.
and I'm betting that the person who will be winning that might have a heart attack. Actually,
They probably will, and it'll go to the second place person. I don't know how they determine second place for the lottery. Maybe the guy who's like a prime factor off or something like that. But I'm sure they'll figure it out eventually.
figure out indeed.
Indeed.
All right, so I will be switching the camera now to the game
Okay.
and starting the cast.
Game resumed.
All right, so in the upper left-hand corner here we have the blue Terran BattleLord.
BattleLord, and in the bottom right-hand corner, we do have the red Protoss Chris, as was mentioned earlier by the brilliant joke made by Crucifix.
Very brilliant indeed.
So, Sharp Eyes, what? You've played all the races. You've played all the races throughout your StarCraft career, if you will. What do you feel was what Protoss build did you think was the most fun? Be it an all-in or a macro play, or what did you just think was the most fun build that you did as a Protoss
The
player?
Mothership Rush.
The Mothership Rush. Now, if I understand correctly, it's you build a pylon at 9 and then a mothership at 10 supply, send it over to their base, and then crash it directly into their hatchery. Is that correct?
Not even
No.
close. Actually,
Would you explain that build?
the correct build would be to open up a pylon at 9, transform your Nexus into the mothership core
Wow,
at 10,
that is a powerful tool.
and then teleport the mothership core into your opponent's hatchery, destroying it from within.
So you basically absorb the mothership core into the hatchery and displace the matter so that it implodes upon itself and then explodes outward like a nuclear bomb.
I am not a scientist, but that sounds like a very rational explanation.
Yeah, I think it is. And this probe here is getting some really good scouting information on this Terran player, and we do have a proxy CC first command center at the Protoss player's potential 4th base or potential 3rd, depending on who you are. But this is just so bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen a proxy command center this early and this close to the opponent's base. But this should be quite the interesting game. What do you think is going to come out of this, Sharp Eyes?
I honestly think that it'll be a party at the beaches.
That makes no sense. But we do have the Terran player going all the way to 18 supply without making an additional supply depot, and he has now stopped. SCV production in order to make a 3rd command center before a 2nd supply depot. What is going on? And he just made. He is now making his 19th SCV along with 2 refineries. This is absolutely the strangest build I've ever seen. And you do see the Protoss player expanding and scouting because he doesn't know what's going on. He scouted the Terran base for a good long time, wondering where all of his stuff could be, and I cannot believe it looks like he is finally going to get the scouting information on what's going on over here in Command Center. I don't even know what you call it, Command Center Party Town, where he's making 3 command centers before second supply depot, something I have never seen. He already has a engineering bay down for whatever reason. This is just crazy. The Terran player does have 3 people on each gas with 11 people at his main. I don't even know what to make of this right now. He has 4 people mining at his second base. I can't call it a natural because that is not what it is. And his third base just finished. It's looking like his third is also producing SCVs. And really, you could just call this droning up. I don't even know what to say right now. This is kind of like a 3 hatch before pool Terran version, I guess. But really, okay, what confuses me the most is the decision to build a random engineering bay and then do nothing with it. Well, and it looks like a stalker is coming in, and
the engineering bay actually unlocks planetary fortress tech.
Okay, I see. So he's gonna take. So he's now taking these 2 command centers, moving them into the Protoss base with 5 SCVs in each, and I'm assuming at least one of these is going to turn into a PF Chang's, if you will.
PF Chang's indeed, as they're known for their fabulous Chinese food.
I think this is almost identical, except this is like the advanced version of a Bronze League Heroes game I saw from Husky StarCraft. But this is and I'm very surprised that this probe didn't try to block this command center. But this Zealot is going to be now hacking away at this soon-to-be planetary fortress. Both of them are going to be planetary fortresses. Meanwhile, the Terran player is building a factory, a proxy factory. He has a barracks floating by this uninhabited island that I didn't even know was over here in the lower left-hand corner. And it's looking like, at least for right now, nothing's going to be building from that factory. The planetary fortress is almost done building these, oh my gosh. Okay, what do you think is going to be going on here, Sharp Eyes? I'm speechless. I am speechless.
I think that these 2 planetary fortresses are going to be doing heavy damage, and
they are, for sure, yeah.
We actually might see that the Terran could be taking over this entire base.
Oh yeah, I don't know what the range is on a planetary fortress. I actually have no idea, but the chances of the Protoss army being able to get anything that's going to kill 2 planetary fortresses anytime soon is slim to none. So I think this whole main of the Protoss is going to go down. But meanwhile, the SCVs kill a stalker at the main base of the Terran. So it's looking like the Terran is just on cloud 9 right now. It's looking like yet another planetary fortress from the Terran base has gone down, and this is just great. I don't know. I love it when I see builds that just nobody would ever even consider work. Probably because of some oversight in the scouting of the Protoss player. I don't even know, but it is looking like the new main base for the Protoss is the natural. While these planetary fortresses take care of their business. And there are several, and it's looking like this factory is floating over near the barracks in the lower left-hand corner once again, maybe as like a reserve, I don't even know, just like reserve buildings in case this turns into a base trade scenario, but this is just crazy. It's looking like the Nexus is going to go down eventually, but as you all know, planetary fortresses cannot be lifted up. So if he does want to put another base next to any mining minerals, he's going to have to build it. But he does still have his main up and running, but he doesn't look like he's going to be building any more CBs from that anytime soon. What are the Protoss's options right now, Sharp Eyes? What should he be doing to make sure that this is to see if he can defend this crazy build that he's working with right now?
Actually, going air is a pretty good option. I mean,
yeah,
we do see that 2 Stargates are producing some void rays.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, planetary fortresses can't hit air, and And the Terran player doesn't have anything that any anti-air at all except for these 2 turrets, except for this 1 turret right here. So Void Rays would be a very good option. Do you think that the Protoss player should be expanding right now, or just working on getting as many units out as possible?
I think that the Protoss player should try to destroy the Terran's economy, since for some reason these SCVs have fended off many pushes, but it's probably because of this planetary fortress occupying the main base here.
I mean, you know, with a planetary fortress and repairing SCVs, it's so hard to take down, especially early game like this. And the Terran players have got a tank out, which is gonna, which just makes it even harder. But these Void Rays are really the Protoss's. These are what's gonna be. This is what can really turn this game around. Are the fact that the Terran player has really no anti-air at all. These Void Rays can shoot at this planetary fortress all day long as he stays out of the range of these missile turrets. And if the Terran player wants to maintain this ridiculousness that he has going, he needs to get some Marines out. He does have this 1 hero Marine that's about to die, but he needs to get some. He needs to get an answer out to these Void Rays, or else he's in trouble for sure.
Absolutely. Poor planetary forces cannot target these Void Rays.
No, it can't.
And,
if it could, I think it would be super broken.
And it does look like the Void Rays will be doing significant amounts of damage to buildings,
Very
as
significant.
Void Rays with their anti-armor cannon are extremely effective versus Terran buildings.
Definitely, and honestly, the Terran player has absolutely no answer to this right now. Okay, you have a cloaked Banshee, you're going to be able to kill a lot of these probes over here, but why does that matter when the Terran player, when the Protoss player has 6 Void Rays on the field, and you have, and your main army unit is a planetary fortress? I think that a smart move right now would be to build, and he is building a starport over at the Protoss 3rd, and probably a couple at home too. Let's see, looks like he's building 2 more starports, and he does, BattleLord does a good comeback, and they're complementing each other as good StarCraft players should. But he is building mass starports right now in order to try to build some Vikings, and it's looking like the Protoss player has completely cleared out his old main. So very good on the Protoss player. I wasn't sure how he was ever going to come back. What do you where do you see this game going from here?
I honestly see that the Terran player has no way to recover from this, as Protoss has Void Rays.
Yeah, I mean the SCVs can come repair that starport, but it doesn't really matter now that the Void Rays are here. And wow, I felt like it was a good, it was a really good attempt, but he didn't. It seems like such an oversight to say, oh, he won't build any air units. I don't have to worry about it. But I mean, it was a very unique build by the Terran player, and I just think that was as hilarious as it was entertaining.
Absolutely, and it looks like the GG will be called, and the replay will be ending. So, a Crucifix, what did you think of the Terran player? Did you like his build? Are you going to copy his build?
Okay, well, I can't say I like his build because it's completely, like, against a good player, who comes to scout your base, they're going to know immediately that something's up, because they don't, not only do they not see a barracks in your base, but they don't even see a second supply depot. So they know you're at least proxying something. And the fact that he didn't see anything, or even an orbital command being built, I feel like at that point that would send off a trigger for an opponent to scout immediately. And I felt like the Protoss player waited too long to scout. He didn't even find out about that those other 2 bases until the 3rd base was almost done completing. And he sent a few stalker. He sent like a stalker over to try to kill some of those probes, and not only did the Protoss player allow them to float over to his base, which I guess he couldn't really do anything about, but he allowed them to land, which he did not need to do. He could have just positioned his 2 probes in a position where those command centers could literally never land, and I feel like that's what I would do if I was in that same situation. The command centers are slower than probes, so why not just make it so the Terran player is just in a up a creek without a paddle?
Absolutely. I mean, let's say that you were on a canoe and you were up a creek. I
Hmm.
mean, if you didn't have any paddles, what would you be doing?
What would you'd probably be floating down the creek, paddleless, and I feel like you'd have the same feeling that you would get if you were a Terran player and you couldn't land your command center.
Like a fish without a Pepsi.
Gills, a Pepsi, same thing. Same thing.
All right, and Crucifix, what did you think of the protest player? Did you think that his reaction was more than adequate?
Yeah, his reaction was perfect. I mean, he noticed that I mean, again, like as I said, he should have kept those command centers from landing. The build from the Terran player was absolutely ridiculous, but if once he got those into planetary fortresses, there's really nothing you can do until you get air units. And the Terran player should know immediately. Everybody, anytime you're playing StarCraft, you should think what can kill me right now. Whenever you're doing a build, and you should think to yourself, well, this could kill me, and then prepare against it. And I felt like the Terran player the whole time never thought about that, and that's where the Protoss player was able to take advantage. And really, that was the Protoss player's only choice was to build Void Rays or any other air unit that any air to ground unit. I guess he could have built Oracles, but Void Rays was the obvious choice, and it was the right choice for this game. If the Terran player had built massed missile turrets, I feel like that's really the only thing he could have done there because he couldn't have gotten enough of Marines to fend off those Void Rays. But if he had built enough missile turrets, I think that would have been GG for the Protoss player. But because he chose to completely disregard anti-air, like he had one missile turret, that's all he had. So the fact that he decided not to gave the Protoss player an opportunity to come back even though he was massively behind for the beginning at the beginning of the game.
Absolutely.
Do you think that the Protoss player could have? Do you think that the Terran player could have handled himself any better, or do you think that both players played as well as they could given the crazy circumstances?
To be perfectly honest, I think that the Terran needs another strategy.
I do too. I feel like that's a strategy that probably works once every ten times he does it. But when it does, boy, is it sweet.
Sweet indeed. You don't have to go Marine Marauder Medevac like quote unquote everyone else, but
Yeah.
I think that going double command center first is very very
Du-
unique to say the least.
Double command center first into planetary fortress. What else did he go into planetary fortress? Single marine isn't the strat that you think is the safest.
It is definitely the most far from safe build I've ever
It is
seen.
definitely the least safest, that's for sure. But yeah, it does make for some good casting, that's for sure.
Absolutely, that was an amazing game to watch.
And fun. It was very fun.
Very fun indeed. All right, that concludes our cast. My name is Sharp Eyes,
I'm Crucifix.
and until next time,
Keep on playing.
keep on playing indeed.
Indeed.